Hey friends! In today's video, we are talking travel makeup. I'm going to share with you all the products that I packed on our recent trip to Hawaii. We spent New Year's Eve and my birthday there earlier this month. It was an incredible trip. When I travel, I actually like to bring as minimal makeup as possible while still having options to put myself together and look nice for a nice evening out. So I'm going to share with you what those products were, and we're going to do this look, which was kind of like my go-to vacation makeup look. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's get started. First, I want to share with you the makeup bag that I took with me to Hawaii. If you follow me on Instagram stories, you know I have a thing with makeup bags. Like it's actually a little embarrassing. I don't know why. I cannot stop buying them. I have an obsession with them. But I have to say, if you like to pack light and you want something small, I mean, actually you could find something much smaller than this, but this is a small little makeup bag. I love this bag. Another fun fact about this bag is it has this chain so you can wear it, you guys, as a purse. I actually bought this because I do a lot of makeup packing from home and I bring it to the studio and to the office and back and forth and back and forth. And I wanted something that I could wear easily because when I'm getting out of my car, I've got a tote bag, I've got my purse, I've got my tea, I've got my Stanley water, I've got all these things, and anything I can just wear makes it much easier. This comes in different leather options. This is the premium leather and it's kind of an upgrade. So I'm gonna link down below and I'll link exactly what I have. Also, if you didn't notice, you can customize this with your initials if you want, and there's different styles of fonts. It's really fun, really cute little bag, and you can get different colors or standard leather, but I love this bag. It's the perfect size, and you can fit so much in it, even though it's small. So I'm going to show you everything I packed for my trip to Hawaii, and we're just going to walk through kind of what my standard look for vacation makeup was. Okay, so I have zero makeup products on my face. I do have my skincare on, but I don't even have my tinted SPF. So we're going to start there. The first product that I would start every day with is my ALASTIN HYDRATINT, my Mineral SPF 36. I love this. I just love the way that this looks. It has a tint and it actually gives a fair amount of coverage for being a tinted SPF. It is pricey. It's like, I think it's like $75. I feel like when I started sharing this years ago, it was like $55 or $60. I think it's increased in price quite a bit, but I will say these last forever and you can get so much out of them. Obviously, this is like at the end of its life, but you will be surprised how many more uses I can get out of it. There's something about the packaging that they did with this that you literally can get every bit out. Did you just see how easily that came out? And it looks empty. Nothing irks me more than having an expensive makeup product and the packaging doesn't allow you to get the last 10% of the product. That's not the case with this. You will literally get out every single drop. In fact, I mentioned that to an esthetician friend of mine and she said that's actually a fact. Like, I think when they came to train her on the product, they talked about how the packaging is designed to just like vacuum out every little ounce of it. So it makes you feel a little bit better about spending $75. So I start every application with this on first. When it was like daytime and I wasn't, or like the morning and I was just going to stroll out to go get a Starbucks or get breakfast, I would just wear this and I really wouldn't layer anything on top of it. You can see that it not only gives a little tint, but it actually covers pretty well. I would equate this to like a very, very light sheer foundation. I also love the radiance that this product gives without being greasy. A lot of tinted SPFs, in my opinion, just leave the skin looking a little greasy. This gives a radiance, but it actually kind of like dries down to almost like a matte radiance. So it doesn't feel tacky to the touch, but you still get a glow. Oh, so good. Okay, so now that we have the SPF on, we're gonna go ahead and do brows. I do allow this a little time to set before I go in with the next like foundation product. I just give it a little time to kind of dry down. So let's go ahead and go in with brows. I always travel with 2 brow products. We could be a little minimal here, but I need that. I need something to define my brows and then I need something to give it some volume. So the pencil that I packed was the Benefit Precisely Brow Pencil, and I have the shade 3 in this. I love this brow pencil. It's just got a really nice fine tip to it. The pigment comes onto the skin really easily. It's not like a dry formula, but it's not also super waxy either. And I just kind of start by filling in the brow and creating some shape. And I always extend my brow a little bit because my brow ends a little short there. I rarely have to get my brows done. To give you some context, I got my brows done in December for Dancing with the Stars because I just wanted to clean them up. Nikki was doing my makeup and I didn't want her to show up and feel like, oh girl, your brows need a little bit of love. But the last time I had gotten my brows done had been like a year and a half before that. The last time I went somewhere and actually had them tweezed and shape just because they don't really grow. Okay, so now I've got some shape. I'm gonna go into the other side. I also like Benefit's shade range. They have a nice extensive shade range for brows. And I like this particular shade because it's not super gray. It's not warm. It's just the perfect like taupe shade for dark blondes or very light brown hair. Lovely. So we've got the shape in now. A little tip when you're drawing your brows in with a pencil like this, keep your hand light. You don't want to put too much pressure because that's when you can end up with very strong, harsh looking brows. Keep a very light, wispy hand so you're almost like sketching those brow hairs in place rather than like putting a lot of pressure and drawing them on. Next, we're going to go and add a little bit of volume. My brows are very fine and very thin, so I like to go in with a little bit of a fiber gel to add some fluff to them and make them look more natural. This is the Wow Brow from ELF Cosmetics, and I use the shade Taupe. This is such a great one. It's honestly as good as any high-end that I have tried. Another one of my favorites is the Kosas. Kosas is a really great one. Benefit has a really great one too. I feel like they're the original, the OG of fluffy brow fiber gels. Just go in, and I like to usually choose a brow pencil that's a little darker than the brow gel that I'm using. So the brow gel I'm using is slightly lighter. It's going to go in and kind of just give that more kind of natural look to the brows. It's also going to correct. So if I did go a little too strong with my brow pencil, having a lighter brow gel is going to tone it down a little bit. Next, we are ready to go in and apply foundation. And I did do this most days that we were in Hawaii, even during the daytime, because I chose to bring a foundation that was not only going to make my skin covered and flawless, but that was actually going to add sun protection and be good for my skin. And I think you guys can probably guess which foundation that is. I brought the Jane Iredale Purepressed Base Mineral Foundation with me. This really has earned the spot as my top foundation. It really has. Like I keep saying, oh, it's in my top 3, it's in my top 5. But if I'm being truly honest, if I look at all the foundations that I wear and what I wear the most often, it is this one, you guys. It is, if you don't own this foundation yet, I'd be surprised because I have talked about this on my channel for a couple of years and it truly is so good. And I'm gonna explain to you why, what I love about it and why I bring it on vacation makeup. I did team up with Jane Iredale for this portion of the video, so I do wanna thank them for being a sponsor of this video. And I want us to talk specifically about the benefits of this foundation and how it's different than other powder foundations, because I think powder foundations have a kind of negative reputation for not working for mature skin because many of them, quite honestly, don't. They are heavy, they can look really flat on the skin. A lot of them can also accentuate texture on more mature skin. And what makes this one so different than all of those is this does not have talc in it. This actually has light reflective properties too. So it's going to give a very natural look to the skin, not a heavy powdered look at all. Once this sits on the skin, you guys, and I'm gonna show you a trick and a product to accelerate that, it actually looks like natural skin. It looks as beautiful as any of your liquid foundations, your cream foundations. You would never guess in a million years that I have powder foundation on. It also has an SPF of 20, you guys. So you're getting an additional SPF coverage in addition to the HydraTint that I'm wearing. So it's really great if you are gonna spend a lot of time in the sun. I personally don't rely on this as my sole SPF. I still wear an SPF underneath it. Although I did meet an esthetician, a celebrity esthetician in Los Angeles last year who says that this is what all she wears is her SPF. This is her daily SPF. Love, love, love this product. It has really good for your skin ingredients. So this can sit on the skin. It's not going to clog pores. It's not bad for the skin. It's actually good for your skin, you guys. It also has algae extract in it, which helps moisturize and hydrate the skin. Okay, and the brush that I like to use when I'm on vacation specifically, I like to use the 104 BK Beauty large powder brush because it's loose and lighter, so it's going to pick up less product and just apply a more natural look. If I want more coverage, I'll use something like the 107 or maybe the N15, but I was using the 104 when I was on vacation. One, because I already have the ALASTIN on and I don't need a whole lot of coverage from this. You can build it with this, but this is going to provide a little bit more of a natural coverage. So I just go into the compact and I always start in the center of the face and I just start to kind of press it into the skin. So even though this brush gives more lighter application because it's so soft and fluffy, you can maximize the coverage you get by pressing. Now, the reason I like to wait until my SPF has had time to kind of dry down is just so I don't get that wet SPF into the brush fibers and then transfer it into the compact. It is incredible. This looks so good. Can we zoom in a little bit to my skin as I apply this so you guys can actually see what this looks like? It just looks so good. If you are purchasing this for the first time, you want to purchase the compact and then the refill that goes inside of it. And I'll link down below to where you can get that kit. But in the future, when you need to replenish this product, you just have to purchase the pan refill. Oh, it's so good, you guys. It is so So beautiful. I cannot get over how beautiful this foundation is. Seriously, it is beautiful, and it's beautiful for all ages. I know many of you have commented on my videos that say you're in your 60s, your 70s, and you wear this foundation and love it. Oh, it's so good. I love this. It's so quick and so easy, so it's perfect for vacation, traveling. It also fits into a travel bag really easily. It's not a big, bulky foundation. Okay, let's move on. Next, we're gonna go in with concealer, and the concealer that I brought was the Tower 28. This has just kind of been a go-to lately. It's a serum concealer, so it's very lightweight. It's very hydrating. I'm gonna put a little bit in my corner and a little bit in my outer corner. I'm gonna use the A506 brush to blend this under the eye. Another thing I love about the Jane Iredale powder is that you can use cream products with it. So if you notice, I did the powder foundation first, and then I'm going in with concealer, where typically you would think to do concealer before a powder foundation. And normally I would have. I actually kind of forgot and jumped ahead of myself this time, but that's okay because you can apply cream products and it's not going to disrupt the powder foundation. In fact, I'm gonna be using a cream blush today, and I'm gonna be applying it on top of this. This concealer is so good. It's lightweight. It doesn't feel or look heavy, but it gives exceptional coverage. Really, really great coverage for how lightweight it is. On vacation, I actually don't bring a setting powder, especially because I'm using the Jane Iredale Purepressed and I don't need a setting powder. I can apply a little bit of this underneath the eyes to set concealer, and it's not going to be too heavy. It's not going to accentuate texture. It's actually perfectly fine underneath the eyes. I'm going to use the M14 to do that, and I'm just going to apply a little bit, just a little bit to kind of set that concealer in place, but I don't need to pack on any more coverage because again, the concealer gives all the coverage I need. I'm just using this powder to simply set. So good. Look how smooth and poreless the skin looks. It is so beautiful, you guys. And it still has a radiance to it. Do you see how it's reflecting light? The minerals in this product actually reflect and diffuse light, so it kind of gives this soft focus effect to the skin. It is stunning. So love this product. If you haven't picked this one up, you guys, trust me, you're gonna love this. If you already own this, drop a comment down below and let us know what you love about it. I think it's always helpful when people can see other opinions before making a purchasing decision rather than just my own, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and move in. I actually did not bring bronzer on my vacation. I was trying to pack pretty minimally, so instead I brought a blush that is a blonzer, in my opinion. What is a blonzer? A blonzer is a blush and a bronzer combo. Technically, that's not what this product is. It's a blush, but in my opinion, it gives the warmth and color that you can get from a bronzer, but it still gives some color to the skin like a blush would. So it's kind of one of those products that can act as both. It's the shade Smolder, and you guys, this is like my new obsession next to Balmy. This is Balmy's like big sister. It's a little bit deeper than Balmy, but I still think it's very universal for all skin tones. Look at how pretty that is. It's just this really beautiful, warm, kind of gingery shade on me. So this is what I used for blush. And we are gonna go in with the 112, that's the brush that I packed. And I like to take my brush directly to the product, load it up. What I love about the Jane Iredale blush sticks is that they are very blendable, and you can really pack on color and build it, but you can also really sheer it out. It's really good when you first go in to apply it, because if you over apply, you just work with it and blend it out and it will sheer out. Very easy to work with. Oh, that's so beautiful. And because I'm gonna use it both as bronzer and blush, I'm gonna kind of create more of this like wide flush to the cheeks. So I'm not really gonna concentrate it in just this small area where I apply blush. I'm just gonna kind of sweep it across the face and even in the center of the face a little bit. And I'm gonna keep it kind of sheer and light. Oh, it's so, so beautiful. I don't know how I didn't discover this sooner, honestly. I discovered this, I don't know, it was actually just before, it was mid-December when I discovered this color, because Sean, who's the global artist director at Jane Iredale, he came on a live with me and he was using this product on me, and I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not used this before? It is seriously as beautiful as Balmy, just a little bit deeper. So I just kind of run it across the face just to give some warmth to the skin. And again, because I'm not using a bronzer, it's just kind of give that warmth. You can even put a little bit in the hairline like you would a bronzer. Okay, let's talk about eye makeup. Let me tell you what I actually packed versus what I actually used. So for eye like lid products, I packed this Solo Shadow from Merit. This is a cream shadow in the shade Vachetta, and it is the most beautiful kind of peanut buttery brown. I would call this like a light to medium tone. You can apply this with your fingers. I love to apply it with the N16 brush. It's just the perfect amount of color on the lid that's not too much, but it's a little something, okay? So I packed this. I also packed one of my favorite eyeliners, the Fenty Beauty eyeliner in the shade Puppy Eyes. It's this really pretty bronze shade. Let me show you guys. It's more of like a coppery kind of bronzy shade. It's got a metallic finish to it. It's really beautiful, easy to smudge out and create a soft line so it's not too heavy for a beachy look. And then I brought this. I didn't really end up using this, but I did want to share it in this video because I think this would be a great little travel palette if you want a little bit more than those two options. This is the new Natasha Denona Mini Sculpt palette, and it is 5 shades that are all neutral, all matte, all pretty basic. So if you are someone that likes shimmer or color or just a little bit more fun in your eye makeup, this isn't going to do it for you. But if you just want a good little travel palette that has shades for liner or gives you some options to kind of do a smoky eye or something really light, this one is great. But let's talk about what I actually did on vacation. So when it was during the daytime, I just did my Fenty eyeliner. When we went out to dinner in the evenings, I did a combination of the two. So I would take the Merit eyeshadow and I'm going to use the N16 brush. I'm going to use the side of the brush and really load it up. And I applied this onto the lid. Look at this shade, you guys. So subtle, but so pretty. It's got some warmth to it, so if you have blue or green eyes, it's really gonna make those pop. Do you see how pretty that is? So when you just look at that eye, it doesn't look like I have makeup on the eye, but when you compare it, you're like, oh, okay, the lid is a little warmer. It's got a little more color. The eye looks a little more green. What I like about these cream shadows is they're a little bit silkier than like the MAC paint pots. So I love the MAC paint pots, but I have heard for some people they're too dry. I think the Merits would be a good option if you want something like that, but the MAC paint pots are too dry because these are a little silkier. You have about 20 to maybe 30 seconds for them to set. Once they set, they stay in place. They do not budge though, just like the MAC paint pots. But they do feel a little creamier and a little silkier, in my opinion, than the MAC paint pots. They're also a little bit lighter, just a little bit lighter, so they can be a little bit more mature skin friendly. So I would do this look with a little liner, and that would be our dinner time look. And then during the day, I would just wear the eyeliner or mascara or just mascara. There were some days where I didn't wear any eye makeup. These pencils are very creamy, they're very soft, so they glide onto the eye very easily. You don't have to pull or tug or press too hard, which is great for mature eyes or sensitive eyes. Look at that, oh, so good. And then I do a little bit on the lower lash line, just a little bit. I don't go all the way over, I just take it about halfway over, and then I'm just gonna smudge it. I think I had the N12 with me, but right now I have the 207 because that's close by. I'm gonna take the 207. And I'm just gonna soften the lower lash line. I don't like my lower lash line to look too heavy, especially when I'm on like a beach vacation. I like to go for minimal, effortless when I'm on vacation. I think all types of vacations. I think mostly because when we go on vacation, we go to the beach. So my vacations are typically beachy vacations and I don't wanna have or look like I have a lot of makeup on. For mascara, I used the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. It's just my go-to, you know, it's just a great mascara for length and volume and gives a very wispy, soft look to the lashes. I definitely should have used my lash curler. My lashes are so straight today. On vacation, I usually don't pack a lash curler though. I keep it, again, pretty minimal, but I could have benefited from using a lash curler today. The skin looks so good. Okay, for lips, I brought 2 lipsticks with me, you guys. So I brought my Candy Gloss lipstick in the shade 13 from YSL. I love this product. This is one of those real balmy, glossy, sheer, but buildable lip colors. The only con to this is that the color doesn't last like a super long time. You definitely need to reapply, but it feels incredible. It also gives just a soft, light lip look. Like it's not like a heavy lip look, so it's perfect for like beach makeup or simple kind of casual, effortless makeup. I also brought this lip product, which is, I think, pretty new, and I don't know that I've shared this yet on YouTube. This is from Lancome, and this is the Butter Glow, Lip Idol Butter Glow, and I bought this in a few shades. This is the shade 36. So I thought these were like a lip balm, but I have to say these actually give more color than a lip balm. They're definitely very pigmented lip balms, and they're not as like glossy as the YSL Gloss Stick. Like they're not going to give you that much shine, but they are going to give you shine, hydration to the lips. They feel good, and you can really layer them. This feels so good, you guys. Feels so, so good. I don't think I brought this one. I think I brought this one because the one I brought had more color to it. This is the shade 47. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's remove that. This is actually more of the natural lighter shade. That's probably 47 because I had one that had more color. Yeah, this is the one I brought. Do you see how much color that gives? I mean, for a lip balm, that is really a lot of color. I didn't bring a lip pencil just because I knew I wasn't going to be applying a lip pencil. Look at that. So pretty. and it feels so good. And you have that shine and gloss, but it's not like a heavier feel. I will say the candy gloss lipsticks definitely feel a little heavier. I don't mind it. This feels lighter weight. These are so good. So I brought this, and then I also brought the candy gloss lipstick just because I know I love this and I just wanted to have something that I knew I loved available. There was one more product that I brought. I didn't use it too much, but I do want to share it because I packed it with me, and this is such an amazing product. This is from Victoria Beckham, and this is her Reflect Pearl Highlighting Stick. And it's just this little highlighting stick. I'm going to show you. It gives the most beautiful highlight to the skin. It's pretty sheer, so it's not like really shimmery. And I actually like to just use my finger, you guys, and apply this to like right here are the high points of my cheekbone. Let me show you. I brought this because, you know, when you're packing for vacation, you get a little ambitious. You think you're going to like, you know, do some beautiful makeup when you guys go out, but then really what happens is you spend all day at the beach, you get back to your hotel, and you just shower real quickly, throw on some flip-flops, and go to dinner. That's more accurately what happened on our vacation. And that's so pretty. It is so stunning. We'll put a little bit on the nose so you can see too. It is just so beautiful. And again, I'm applying it on top of that Purepressed base mineral foundation, and it looks lovely. The last product that I packed is this adorable little mini Jane Iredale Palm Mist Hydration Spray. I have the larger, actually I have a couple of bottles here. This is how you want to set the Purepressed base mineral foundation, you guys. This just kind of seals it and locks it in, and it gives it that, you know how your foundation looks, and this is the case with any foundation you wear, but you know when you apply it and like maybe an hour later you look in the mirror and the natural oils of your skin have had time to kind of come to the surface of the skin, and you're not like you're oily and shiny, but your just foundation looks like it's one with your skin, right? You know that moment. This accelerates that and gives that moment. So I always bring the hydration spray and apply it as like my final step. And you can do this after you've applied all the makeup. You can do it after you've just applied the foundation if you want to. So before you apply the blush and the eyeshadow, but I like to do it after everything. And I just do a couple of sprays. If you are someone that likes to spray a lot, I would apply it before you apply your mascara and your eyeshadow. It smells amazing, it feels amazing, it adds hydration to the skin, and it also just gives you that instant skin-like finish from the foundation. It is so, so nice. So love that. Another little tip that I always do after I apply any setting spray is I take a fluffy brush and I just bounce it on top, kind of work that setting spray in and kind of evenly distribute it across the makeup. And this is my vacation makeup, very simple and pared down. I don't like to take more product than I need, but I always want to have the option to be put together and just polished in case we go to dinner or go somewhere where I want to feel a little bit dressy. So I will link all of these products down in the description box, as well as tag them in YouTube shopping. And I will leave my shade names and all the info that you need down in the description box. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.